What is the difference between various cable types like Cat5, Cat5e and Cat6? I'm just about to move house, so I'm going to have to disconnect and rewire my network. Pretty much all the devices I have support gigabit Ethernet. Should I go out and buy some decent network cables, and if so what type, or should I continue using my mix of Cat and NBSB, 5 cables I've acquired over the years? Does the type of cable really make a difference to my LAN performance?
What is the difference between Cat5, Cat5e, and Cat6 cable? If you're researching the different types of twisted pair copper cable used to transmit data in network and home theater applications, then it's likely that you will repeatedly come across the terms Category 5, Cat5, Category 5e, Cat5e, and Category 6, Cat6. Organizations such as the Telecommunication Industry Association, TIA, and Electronic Industries Association, AIA, set specific product standards, and these guidelines have resulted in cables being classified into various categories based on their performance levels. Just in case you're not too familiar with cabling terminology, we at cableorganizer.com would like to provide you with a few straightforward definitions and statistics on these 3 common grades of network cable, to help you better choose the right one to fit your needs. Cat5, out of the 3 types of cable we'll be discussing, Category 5 is the most basic. Cat5 cable is available in 2 varieties, unshielded twisted pair, UTP, the type widely used in the United States, and screen twisted pair, SCTP, which are shielding to provide a measure of extra protection against interference, but is rarely used outside of Europe. Cables belonging to Category 5 are either solid or stranded. Solid Cat5 is more rigid, and the better choice if data needs to be transmitted over a long distance, while stranded Cat5 is very flexible and most likely to be used as patch cable. Cat5 cable can support 10, 100, or 1000 Mbit/s Ethernet. The 1000 base T standard for gigabit Ethernet over UTP was designed to work over up to 100 meters of plain old Cat5. Cat5e, which stands for Category 5, Enhanced, cable goes along the same lines as basic Cat5, except that it fulfills higher standards of data transmission. While Cat5 is common in existing cabling systems, Category 5e has almost entirely replaced it in new installations. Just like Cat5, Cat5e can handle data transfer at 1000 Mbit/s, and is suitable for gigabit Ethernet. Cat5e experiences much lower levels of near-end crosstalk, next, than Cat5. Cat6, of the 3 cable categories we're discussing, Category 6 is the most advanced and provides the best performance. Just like Cat5 and Cat5e, Category 6 cable is typically made up of 4 twisted pairs of copper wire, but its capabilities far exceed those of other cable types because of one particular structural difference: a longitudinal separator. This separator isolates each of the 4 pairs of twisted wire from the others, which reduces crosstalk, allows for faster data transfer, and gives Category 6 cable twice the bandwidth of Cat5. Cat6 cable is ideal for supporting 10 gigabit Ethernet. Since technology and standards are constantly evolving, Cat6 is the wisest choice of cable when taking any possible future updates to your network into consideration. Not only is Category 6 cable future safe, it is also backward compatible with any previously existing Cat5 and Cat5e cabling found in older installations. Source and more information.
Gigabit Ethernet is designed to slow down if the cables are picking up interference, but the quality of installation is probably as important as the cable itself. Ethernet over copper is always unreliable if you go over 100 meters, so of course higher quality cable is more important at greater distance. But be careful not to kink the cables while you are laying them or bend them too tightly, and any solid cable needs to be untwisted more carefully. You only want solid cables if you are installing to new jack points, and then you use the normal stranded patch cables from the jack point to the computer or switch, solid cable for permanent wiring only. Don't put plugs onto solid cables. Solid patch cables are more trouble than they're worth, so use stranded, flexible cable for that.
Depending on how old they are and how badly they've been abused, your existing cables may be starting to deteriorate. Plus, if you replace them, you can do spiffy color coding. Cat5e can theoretically handle 1 gig E, while Cat6 can handle 10 gig E. Cat6 is typically more expensive. Basically, if you buy a quality cable, Cat5e should do it.
I'd start looking into buying new Cat5e or Cat6 cables. Cat5e cables are about the same size as Cat5. Cat6 cables are a bit thicker. I just threw out most of my old Cat5 cables and replaced them with pre-made Cat5e ones. I like monoprice.com for cables. I don't crimp my own cables anymore, it's too hard to get a good connection using an inexpensive, $30 crimper. If time equals money, it's much cheaper for me to buy pre-crimped cables of various lengths.
If you understood this, please consider subscribing.